Hi, Tim Stone with Equipping Families. I want to talk to men today. Specifically, want to talk to husbands. We're in a video series right now about making our marriages better. We're going over 5 keys to a better marriage. And this is day 4, so we're going to talk about the 4th key. If you have not had an opportunity to check out the other ones, make sure you go back and pick those up. I really believe if we tweak our marriages, if we just make these simple little tweaks in our marriages, they'll be better. And maybe some of these things, some of these 5 keys you've done in the past, maybe you're doing some of them now. Maybe you've done them in the past and you're like, man, this is a good reminder. I need to be doing this again. For me, it's been 21 years of marriage, and I've had to learn. I've had to learn to do these things over the course of the last few years. I didn't start into marriage and start doing these things. But I'm determined to have the greatest marriage possible. I married Lori because I wanted to spend the rest of my life with my wife, Lori. And if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with her, then I want this relationship to be the best it can possibly be. So I'm determined to work on my marriage. And usually that means I'm going to need to work on me. And so these 5 keys are about things really for us as men, as husbands, to work on. And so if you're on this journey with me, let's saddle up our horse and let's go. Let's get there, right? Let's make it happen. So key number 4 is, I don't know if you know this. I'm sure if you've been married for a while, you know this. But you and your wife are very, 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 very different. God designed it that way. God took two very different individuals, built very, very different, with different strengths, different weaknesses. And he put them together in the most intimate relationship called the husband and wife relationship, marriage relationship. He put those two together in a relationship. That's God's design. And a lot of times our differences rub us the wrong way. They cause friction in the marriage. And so the reason why that happens is because we don't celebrate those differences. Listen, my wife carries to the table some strengths I don't carry. Vice versa, I bring to the table some things she doesn't bring. And what we need to learn how to do is to celebrate our differences, celebrate the different strengths and weaknesses that we have. That's key number 4, is recognize we're very different, and to celebrate our differences. Celebrate them. Celebrate the strengths. Celebrate the strength that each of us brings to the table, and understand that a lot of times those strengths, they coincide with the other one's weaknesses. And so let me give you an example. I'm a pretty creative type. I struggle sometimes to be very structured. I really try to be structured. I really do. I do the whole calendar thing. I've got the calendar thing, the apps on my phone. They remind me of things I've put on there, but I struggle in that area a lot of times. My wife calendars everything. She knows. Usually when somebody says, hey, can we get together? Hey, I'll have my people call your people. Because Lori knows. She's got it all calendared. And so there's times when she'll put it on the calendar, tell me to put it on my calendar, and then I forget that it's on my calendar, or I forget to look at my calendar. You understand, okay? And so Lori's very administrative. And if I'm not careful, that strength in her will rub me. It'll cause friction in our relationship. It's only when I recognize and I step back and go, wait a second, God brought us together because I need that. Like, that's not in me. That's in the person that God gave me as a spouse, as my wife. And so when I recognize that, and I've learned how to recognize that that's a strength she brings to the table, and I need to receive that gift that God gave me. Listen, it helps a lot in the marriage relationship. It doesn't mean that it doesn't ever cause friction. It still does. But when I recognize that this is a God thing, that God designed us this way, that I recognize, and I come to the place where I recognize, and when I'm saying recognize, I think probably the better word is honor that gift that God has brought me in my spouse, and recognize that God has has made life better for me by doing this. Iron sharpens iron, Scripture says. It is when that, listen, God puts us in a relationship, in the most intimate relationship, the marriage relationship, the most intimate relationship on the planet. God puts us in that relationship with our wife, and that iron begins to sharpen it. Those strengths that sometimes rub me the wrong way, they're actually, if I'll allow them to, they're making me into the person God created me to be. And listen, God's design is incredible. His process is incredible. And if we'll just recognize those strengths in our spouse that we don't have, those differences, and celebrate those differences as God's design, it'll help you out in your marriage relationship. It'll make your marriage better. And I hope that helps. We have key number 5 will be the last one. So make sure you're looking for that tomorrow. And until then, make sure you check out our website, equippingfamilies.us. And here at Equipping Families, look, you're important. Your family's important. We make healthy families a priority, and that includes your family. We're praying for you. God bless.